Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rack. I'm here with the boys P and Cal. Say what's up, gents.
Yo,
Ready to rock.
Yo, so Microsoft has finally dropped the new series, or it's coming soon in 2022. Halo, the most popular game on the Microsoft thing, the Xbox. Now they're gonna put a series. Finally, Master Chief is gonna be there. So guys, play the vid, the trailer. Let's see what it's gonna look. Is it gonna be off the chain? Is it not gonna be off the chain? I believe it is. Yes, that looks totally legit.
You're special. In fact, I'm counting on it.
oh, homegirls in it.
We're lost in the dark. But you give people hope. And I will always be with you. I see this as a new beginning.
It's looking good. I mean, they don't give you much. They don't give you much of the story, but it's looking good. You know, I don't know. It's like, so the basic premise is that you have the super soldiers who are fighting in what, the 25th, 26th century against aliens, and it's there's the video games have been huge hits and stuff like that, and they've crossed over. They've had books. They've had animated shows. The question is whether
Hey,
this
what's that in the background?
uh, I can't see anything in the background. What are you
You're
talking
hearing the noise? That.
about? That's not on my end.
What's the noise?
It's like a woman saying something.
Not here. No. No woman here.
Or a kid?
Or a kid, yeah.
Could be a kid.
All right, let's keep going. Sorry.
Right. So again, this kind of reminds me a little bit of remember they had this thing on Fox several years ago, probably a decade ago, about where they had like the military, the Marines fighting in outer space. Basically, it was a short-lived series. I think it had only like 2 seasons altogether, and they had like humanity fighting the aliens, and then you came to find out the aliens were humanity had started something up with aliens, and some of them were actually working. But digress. That's what it kind of feels like. But here you have the super soldier here, the Spartans who fight these nemesis that they have out in the Halo universes, and they have to go out and protect humanity, because if not, then they're going to come and destroy them. You know, so I mean, that's just a basic all around take. I think the money, you can see the clarity, the cleanness, the how the visuals look. If they keep this up, it's going to be hit. All those streaming guys, all those guys who've been playing the video games are going to definitely be interested in this. You know.
I don't know much about it, and I think that would be now everyone does the oh, shut up then. But it looks cool, and it's interesting that it'd be fun to see if they do a character where they don't, have him take the mask off all the time. So it'll be fun to see how this goes.
I mean, look, it's one of the highest grossing franchises of all time. I mean, we're talking about in well, not probably Star Wars realms, but it's made over billions of dollars just on the video games and animated shows that they've done in the books. And I think they even featured in some comics too. I don't know if it's by Dynamite or Dark Horse, but they're there. So particularly for gamers, you definitely had a lot of stuff. I mean, look at The Witcher. The Witcher was originally a book, but then it really blew up because of the gaming when it became a game. I mean, we got to understand.
Wasn't it a video game first and then the game?
The other way around. It was a book, then it became a game. And actually, the game started writing different things a little bit from the book, and so you have a lot of audience from there. It's incredible. It's So just going on, I mean, you get great IP. These things make one huge difference in how people will view this stuff. And video games actually bring in as much or even more than Hollywood. This is something people forget. I mean, games are going what $59 a pop, and you're selling a million copies of that. It's millions of copies of that. It's amazing, bro.
Well, the video game market, very good. And of course, if you are exploiting, your IP, as you say correctly, then you want it to get in all mediums, not just video game medium. So you're going to want to do films, you want to do books, maybe do some comics, that type of stuff. The only caveat that I have with this is that I can count on one hand the number of video game properties that made a successful leap to film. A lot of times it just doesn't happen. It tends to be more stuff like Super Mario Brothers at the worst end and Warcraft at the best end. So this is, for me, just really a wait and see, because while they're able to successfully, and
Sorry, that
a
was
lot
me.
of the video, no worries, a lot of the video games have stories within the video game. They have like these cut scenes, and these scenes, actually tell the story that's going on, and they piece things together. It's not just come and shoot them up, that sort of thing. There's a backstory, and then that helps to unify the, gives the gameplay it gives the gameplay some more substance, if you will. But while they're able to execute it in the game, it seems like it's really hard for them to execute it outside of the game, and I don't know why. I can count on one hand, very few video games have been able to make the jump from their platform to another medium successfully. I mean, look at Injustice: Gods Among Us. That was a comic. It was a comic first for this game that came out. The game was successful, comic was successful, but just to do an animated movie, and they couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it for whatever reason. So, I just find it's very hard for them to do it for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I've never really put a lot of analysis to it, aside of the fact that they aren't very successful most of the time. But who knows? Halo may buck that trail,
I mean,
or rather buck that trend.
They've never done a Mario Brothers movies. You're right. So
Yeah, they did a Super Mario Brothers movie.
they did, but I mean, most of the money comes from the video games.
They did Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, the video game is going to be the most, that's going to be the most popular form, because that's pretty much what people know about it. But they've done Super Mario. They did a live action film. They had a Super Mario television program. They had Super Mario comic book, Super Mario magazine. There's a whole bunch of stuff they've done with that thing. They were never content with just like, oh, we can just do this video game money, because they know if people like it here, there's a chance that they'll like it in other mediums. The film medium, however, I mean, you've got Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat. I think has had probably the best success. But you've got Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter,
Warcraft.
Warcraft. There's a whole bunch of there's just a whole bunch of stuff that they've done in terms of the video game, and then they try to get it up. They tried to do what was it, Solid Snake? I don't think that got up off the ground, but they try to do it, and for whatever reason, they can't get a story behind this that actually goes. I've seen them really struggle with this for whatever reason, or maybe they just don't take it. Maybe they just don't take it seriously enough.
I would go with that last part. I would definitely, definitely go with that last part. It's really like the idea of Doom, where they just go in and say, "Hey, look, we're just doing this. We don't care. We got the rock in it. It should just make its own money." And
Halo is Captain America meets Iron Man. That's pretty much Halo.
Yeah, basically. But
in space.
You're kind of right in that sense. I never understand if you're making, like, you do a movie on World of Warcraft or something, and you've done billions of dollars in that, why you can't seem to work it out to make a movie. I'm looking here. Mario Brothers made $34 billion altogether with their IP. 30 billion in video games, 4.1 million in licensed material, and only 38 million in a box office. I mean, that's atrocious. Pokemon has made 82, almost $100 billion, 82 billion alone in merchandise, $24 billion in video games. And home entertainment, a box office, they made 1.85 billion, which is probably the biggest one. Almost $2 billion in box office, which I didn't even know. Clearly not from the US.
What, from the one with Ryan Reynolds movie?
That's all they said. Box office. That's like one of
They
the
come up with a couple of other movies, including that movie.
yeah.
I think that was a misstep. Pokemon has so many fans, and try to do it as a murder mystery type of deal was kind of like,
Oh, Pikachu Detective.
yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
about
that's right.
that idea.
I forgot about that.
I think
That
Hollywood
I,
really.
that was that's probably one of the more successful ideas they've had in dealing with some stuff like that.
Hmm. And then you had Angry Birds recently, where they did a couple of movies, and they made what
Oh
half a billion.
God, that was god awful. God awful.
They tried Assassin's Creed, which I thought was not a bad movie, but it didn't do well.
That was also bad.
So yeah, it's clearly evil. But then don't forget,
Very bad. Very bad. Very bad.
Resident Evil movies has done almost as much as the video games. They've done like 1.2 billion in box office and 1.3 in video games. So
Well, again, you've got that's not really helping. That you got this one, and all these other ones that just didn't hit.
yeah,
You know, Resident Evil found an audience. You know, found its audience. And look, we're not really concerned too much about all these other things as long as you give us this.
but
And they got their audience for it.
Tom Clancy books did well. The Hunt for Red October and stuff like that. It's a little different because you had the Tom Clancy. Those are the ones that did.
Tom Clancy's Hunt for Red October was a video game first.
No, but I mean, in terms of he has a series of like, I forgot what they're called. They're called like, what are the games called? Rainbow Six, right? So he has a whole bunch of Rainbow Six, and they have books associated with them. But overall, all the books and stuff that he's done, like Hunt for Red October and stuff like that, those have sold a lot. So I mean, Tom Clancy's brand has been able to carry through a bit. If you look at some of the movies. Not the Rainbow Six movies because they haven't done it yet. That's supposed to have been the one with Jordan.
I don't know, because I'm looking at because that would be along the same lines as the Witcher, where you have because I thought the Witcher was a video game first,
No,
and then they did books, and then they did the series. Now I'm finding out from you that it was a book first. Okay, that makes more sense because you have a great amount of source material in order which to tell you stories. But these other guys, I mean, like when they did Street Fighter, they had no story. Street Fighter is this one guy who's supposed to be traveling to build up all these skills to fight in the Street Fighter tournament and win. Okay, that's pretty much Rocky, you know, to some extent. And the movie they came up with, oh Lord, they wasted all the talent. It had all these people in there wasting their time. It's just a terrible movie.
yeah, it could have been a lot better. I know. But hey, so guys, are you guys interested in watching Halo, or is it a miss or a pass? So you need to find out a little bit more about it.
Let's see it.
Hey, I
Right.
watched Warcraft. Why not watch Halo?
That's right. So hey, if you like what we're talking about, give us a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, spin a rack.
Out.
Out.